You have a few seconds for a true story? About 7 years ago, we were looking around for a new SUV for our family vehicle. What was our criteria? We wanted something with 3 rows. We wanted a lot of space and utility. We wanted comfort. We wanted technology, and we wanted something stylish. Well, we looked at all the models out there. One of them was the Nissan Pathfinder. However, it didn't rate very high on our list because we weren't a fan of the style. The interior was a little bit dated. So we ended up with a new Toyota Highlander. Well, fast forward to today, this is a 2022 5th generation Nissan Pathfinder. And if this Pathfinder was available when we were shopping for our car, it could be an entirely different story. There is so much going on in this new Pathfinder. Let's just start right from the front. So what Nissan has done is they've actually harkened back to the early Pathfinders. You see, over the years, the Pathfinder has gotten a little bit soft, in my opinion. It started out as a rough, tough SUV. You would say, hey, pass me the keys to your truck. You know, and then it just became this rounded kind of crossover, and now they're bringing it back. You know, you can see some of the influence from the old Pathfinder. You got the 3 slots up front here. You do have the new V-motion grille. It's quite big, but it's very proportional to this vehicle. You have standard LED headlamps as well as LED daytime running lights, and this one has LED fog lamps as well. And I like how they chose to not go with some of the trends now is to place the headlights down lower, which is going to minimize your chances of taking a rock into those expensive LED lamps. They integrate really nice here. The overall look of this Pathfinder is so much bolder. It is chiseled. It's not rounded anymore. It's chiseled. It's muscular. Lengthwise, though, it's actually a little bit shorter than the outgoing model. However, that's just because the overhangs don't go out as far. It's not going to affect the room inside. The wheelbase does remain the same. Now, there are many, many different trim levels. This is the top of the line Platinum. Standard are 18-inch wheels, but this Platinum gets 20-inch wheels. You see it does have this rugged plastic cladding on it. Once again, gives you a more rugged look. And one thing you can get with the Platinum is you can get a 2-tone paint job, meaning you can get a black roof and then the color of your vehicle. Down below here, you have this nice chrome strip. This Pathfinder's embossed right into it. The use of chrome here is very, very tasteful. It's not all over the door handles or anything. It's just this nice strip here. Looks really good. Now, for opening and closing, you have your keyless entry just by touch, but they've extended it to the rear doors. There, you hear that? And lock. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Nissan, for including that. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. Why? Because when you don't have that, you want to unlock the door for the back, you have to go like that, and then you got to open it up, let your kids in or load something in, and then same thing when you're closing it, you have to lock it over here. It's so much easier just to do that. So much easier. Another reason why this looks more athletic and muscular is because it's higher and it's also wider than the outgoing model. Here's one of my favorite things. It's small, but open up the filler, you have a capless filler. This does take regular unleaded, but I just like having no cap. It's just one less step. Before we continue on to the back, I just want to thank you for watching this video already, because I know there are a lot of videos out there for you to watch, and for you to choose this one, I thank you very much. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, a big shout out to Nissan Canada and the Frontenac Club right here in Kingston for providing this beautiful backdrop for this launch event of the new Pathfinder. In the rear, you have LED tail lamps. I like the style. They're very thin compared to the size of the vehicle. It just has a nice clean look to it. And then you see the Pathfinder written straight across the back here. It's quite flat back here, and you'll notice there is the new Nissan logo above that Pathfinder. Some manufacturers that are doing this are just having just the name. This has both here. Now below you'll see this has a trailer hitch. Anything above the base S model in Canada gets the trailer hitch with the 7-pin wiring harness, meaning this is actually designed to actually pull pull something, and pull a lot because towing rating is at 6,000 pounds. This also has the hands-free power liftgate, and what I like about it, you don't have to get the very top model to get this feature. So check on their website where you live. A little kick there, up it comes up pretty quick. Now this is pretty impressive especially compared to my Highlander. The amount of room behind the third row is tiny compared to this. Apparently this will hold 4 golf bags behind the third row seat. Without having those down, you can put 4 golf bags in here. So this is a good guys weekend type of vehicle. Actually, no, you can have 2 couples as well. Underneath the floor is more storage. You'll see this plastic compartment here. It's quite deep. It's hard plastic, so that's easy to wash out or wipe out if you put some maybe muddy boots or things like in there. It's also nice to put things that are gonna roll around. My example, watermelons. I hate buying watermelons and stopping them from rolling around. So good watermelon spot. Also, check out, this is the friction hinge. So there's no straps to hold. You just leave it where it is as long as it's about past half, and it will stay there, just like that. You also get a 12-volt outlet back here. You have some hooks back here. Big fan of hooks for your grocery bags and things. So to put the seats down, just one push, and voila, there you go. You have a large cargo area. This would be perfect if you don't need that third row. Hey, we use every little bit of our SUV up when we go to picnicking or barbecuing or camping. So this is a very welcome feature. And man, does this thing ever have drink holders. You have 2 drink holders per back seat on here, and the back seat on each side also has USBs. So most of the time they forget about the people in the third row. Nissan has not forgotten about you if you have to ride in the back. And when you're ready to close your hatch, you can either close it or close and lock as well. Hit that, walk away, and it locks. I definitely was not a huge fan of the outgoing Pathfinder's interior. This one has easily changed my mind about that. You just have this very spacious feel behind the wheel here, and it does have that rugged type of theme to it, opposed to the Rogue, which is kind of more crossover. This has a rugged theme. You have these angular edges on the very upright screen here, but just because it's rough or tough doesn't mean that it has to look cheap. It definitely does not look cheap at all. Let's start with the screens. Okay, so standard, you get an 8-inch touchscreen for the infotainment center. This one has the 9-inch. They both come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. The 9-inch comes with wireless Apple CarPlay. What I love, you get knobs and buttons still. So nice sized and nice styled knobs for your volume and your sound and your tuning, and you have tactile buttons below for the things that are really important that you want to get to quick, like menu, map, your navigation, your camera, which I love because instead of having to put it into reverse just to get the camera on, you can just easily just hit that camera button. Up pops the camera, the front camera. If you have the round view monitor, you can change different views, and you can do all this without having to go into any menus. In front of the driver, you get a standard 7-inch digital display flanked by 2 analog gauges. On the Platinum trim, you get a full digital 12.3-inch display. What I like about the display, I like how you can change the actual look of it, where you can make it so the gauges go in almost a vertical 3-dimensional aspect, you should say, kind of like vertical dials. It's kind of neat. I like that. This one's also equipped with a color 10.8-inch head-up display as well. Standard, you get heated front seats as well as a heated steering wheel. If you go up a couple trim levels to the SL, you can get a leather interior. This Platinum gets a semi-aniline leather. What does that mean? It's just nicer leather. This one also has ventilated seats. The power seats have 2 memory settings, very handy if you have multiple drivers in your vehicle. You have a large panel roof above you, and this thing has a lot of storage. So you have big door pockets below here, and it just has this rugged look even below the door handle. You have an under console storage here because you have a shift-by-wire transmission selector, so there's no linkage there, so it allows you to have this large space. You have a cubby area which has wireless charging, 2 USB ports, a Type A and a Type C, as well as a 12-volt outlet. You have a large center console. You also have a rubber-lined shelf in front of the passenger where you can put your phone probably, or your sunglasses there, and you get drink holders here, drink holders in the door pockets. As I mentioned, 16 different drink holders. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come standard. On the 9-inch display, you get wireless enabled CarPlay if you choose. This has tri-zone climate control, so individual control for driver and passenger, as well as second row can control their own temperature as well. Speaking of second row, let's go back there. For us, the second row of an SUV is almost as important, if not more important, than the first row, because that's where the kids sit, and if they're not happy, then we're not happy. My kids would be very, very happy back here, except that there is no screens. Of course, they love anything that has a screen, but what kids don't? So when we sit back here, a lot of leg room, a lot of foot room. There's actually a little bit of a ledge. You kind of step down, so tons of foot room here. Nissan has placed the anti-gravity seats not only for the front but for the rear as well on these. So they are adjustable. I can move them all the way forward, and this is how far back we can go. We have sunshades here. We have our climate control that we mentioned, and our air vents. And there are air vents for the third row as well, so they don't have to get too stuffy. There is a nice flat floor, completely flat there. This is the ultimate, and it comes with the captain's chairs. So you get 2 seats in the middle row. And now, in the third row, you actually have 3 passengers in the rear. Before, it was only 2. So this is a 7-passenger vehicle. If you go below the Platinum, it comes with a 60/40 split bench seat, and that seats 3, making this an 8-passenger vehicle. So if you want the top of the line model, which is the Platinum, you will not get an 8-passenger vehicle, which is kind of unfortunate. For those that want to get the full top of the line model, you have to settle for 7. In the middle, more storage. You have this cubby area, 2 more drink holders here as well. On the doors, you have a couple drink holders. And Scott from Nissan Canada, he came up with something that's kind of funny, because he says this one could be a door handle, or it could be, you could hold French fries in there or some chicken McNuggets. And I agree, it's kind of funny, but it would work for that. This center console though, if you get the captain's chairs, you can take off this panel here, and if you reach in, you can take this middle console right out. You have a lot more room if you have kids that want to get in and out of here. Simple, and they put it back just like that. That easy. The middle row also gets 2 USBs, a Type A and a Type C, as well as a 120-volt AC outlet, maximum 150 watts. So let's take a look in the back. So to get into the third row, you could either climb through the middle if that console wasn't there, or there are 2 different buttons. There's one in the back seat or one in the bottom. Either one is fine to use. And there's a power release. You hit that, up it flips. Now, if you have a car seat in here, what's nice is that it tilts, the entire seat tilts and goes forward, so you can leave the car seat in and have access to the rear. Getting in, lots of room, very, very easy to get in. Now, when you pull the seat back, if you kind of like stop it halfway, it kind of has like a detent, you can hear it there, and when you pull back, it'll stop there instead of stopping all the way back, because if it does stop all the way back, your knees are going to be pretty high up. But about halfway, I actually have knee room, nice headrest, air vent, USB back here, and my drink holder. It's really not that bad at all. The seat bottom is a little bit flat, but that's pretty well standard. You can raise the seat back a little bit, which I would prefer. But yeah, now, once again, this is a 3-row, third row seat here. I like the glass back here, lots of headroom. This is a huge improvement, and I would have zero issue either sitting back here or putting someone else back here. 3 might be a little bit of a stretch, but let's go into the it's really not bad. Excuse my super white legs, but sometimes the third row, the middle seats are kind of raised up. This is the same level as the passenger seats. Now this is where it'd be nice if you wanted to remove that middle console, then the person in the middle could actually stretch their legs out. That would be even better than that. I'm actually very impressed. Before we even talk about what's under the hood and driving this new Pathfinder, let's talk about the transmission. This does not have a CVT or a continuously variable transmission like the previous model. This now is using a 9-speed conventional automatic transmission, and a lot of people that don't like CVTs or not big fans of them, you should be happy, because this really does make the drive quite a bit different on this new vehicle. So under the hood, you have the tried and true 3.5 liter V6, puts out 284 horsepower and 259 pound-feet of torque. As mentioned, we are matched to that 9-speed auto. And why did Nissan go with the conventional transmission opposed to the CVT? Well, there's a whole bunch of different varieties of reasons. First of all, I think, they know that the CVTs aren't as popular, so maybe that's one factor. Also, for this size of vehicle, it's better to run a conventional automatic transmission if you're asking your vehicle to do more, because this is quite a capable vehicle. They are still using the CVTs in their lighter duty vehicles, like the Rogue, as a very popular vehicle, and they want to use that for the smoothness, and also it's good for fuel economy. However, even though they've got rid of the CVT for this Pathfinder, it actually gets better fuel economy than the outgoing one with the CVT. Go figure, how cool is that? You get your cake and you get to eat it as well. The platform on this Pathfinder is the same as the outgoing model, however, it has been revised greatly. You have 50% more high-strength steel on this new version. You also have aluminum doors. And overall, it's actually a little bit lighter, even with all this extra content in here, a little bit lighter, which maybe helps with that fuel economy. The suspension has also been revised on this new Pathfinder. You'll get 28% stiffer roll rates in the front and 14% in the rear. Don't expect anything too cushy. It's nice that it's a little bit more on the stiff side, especially when you're going and doing a little bit more spirited driving. It's great for cornering, especially for a vehicle that is a little bit higher, like an SUV. Another thing they improved on this new version is the noise. We're doing over 100 kilometers an hour right now. There's minimal wind noise here. You have acoustic glass on the sides. They've increased the insulation, and also even the carpet is thicker now. And you put it all together, and it's a very, very nice sounding or not sounding cabin in here. You can easily have a conversation with someone or listen to music. For those who want to tow, this is the vehicle for you. You get a 6,000 pound towing capacity. That's about 1,000 or 500 more than most vehicles in this class. Most of them are around 5,000 pounds. So this will definitely handle all of your boats and your good sized trailers for sure. Now, if you get the base trim, which is the base S, that one is only rated for 3,500 pounds, but anything above the base gets 6,000 pounds. And also in Canada, we just get all-wheel drive. We do not have an option to get front-wheel drive only, so this has full-time all-wheel drive. So you see there is a 7-position selector in the middle column. So when we turn the drive mode selector, it gives us Eco, Sport, and Towing if we were to tow it. And then if you go the opposite way, we have our Sand, Mud, Rut, Snow, and Auto. So right now, let's just put it into Auto. There we are. Now, this is primarily a front wheel biased all-wheel drive system. When there is no load on the vehicle, like we are right now, we're just cruising along on a level road here at about 100 kilometers an hour. It is strictly a front-wheel drive vehicle. It's when you need more traction, it will drive up to 50% of the torque to the rear wheels. This is a slightly different system than the outgoing Pathfinder. In that version, when the vehicle detected some slippage, it would then send power to the other wheels. On this system, it actually can be more proactive. So before that wheel actually slips, it can already send power to the other wheels. So it makes it just a little bit faster and just better. This would be a perfect candidate if you owned a boat, a pretty large boat for instance, and you weren't mooring it and you're towing it yourself. You have that 6,000 pound towing capacity, and if you're launching it at a boat launch, you have that all-wheel drive system that's going to help you pull that boat out of the water in those real slippery, steep boat ramps. Be perfect for that. Just because the Pathfinder has a more rugged look doesn't mean that it is a major 4x4 contender at all. So just be aware of that. This is still the perfect family getaway vehicle with capabilities to take it off the pavement. You know, we're not going to go and rock crawl with it, but it'll definitely handle any logging roads or service roads that you'd be going for. Say you're going camping or dirt biking, it'd be perfect for that. We did take it down some dirt roads and some trails, and it has zero issue. It's very comfortable inside, that's for sure. And it was nice to test the all-wheel drive system. I actually tried to make it slip, and it's incredible how predictive it is. So if it does spin, you just get so little and all the aids start kicking in. The Pathfinder comes standard with Nissan's Safety Shield 360. 360 because you get sensors all around the vehicle. You get frontal collision alert, rear cross traffic alert, lane departure warning, blind spot warning, all of that. Plus you get Pro Pilot Assist and the intelligent cruise control. This Platinum has the Pro Pilot Assist with Navi Link though. So what is that? So that basically uses the navigation system, the GPS information. Let's say you're on the highway and it uses that and the traffic signs as well, and it can predict and actually react and do things for you without you doing them yourself. So if you're going and you're going to go onto an off-ramp, it can actually start slowing down for you. And also if you go into conditions where you're in stop and go traffic, with a regular Pro Pilot Assist, after 3 seconds, the system will disengage and you have to engage it by hitting the resume or hitting the accelerator pedal when you come to a complete stop. With this system, with the Navi Link, you can go and stop for up to 30 seconds before it'll disengage. So it's really nice if you drive a lot in bumper to bumper traffic. Okay, from a stop, in sport mode, here we go. There we go, there is 100 kilometers an hour. It's just so satisfying having actual gears opposed to the CVT. I own a vehicle with a CVT, so I can't really knock it that much, but it's just that much better having the gears. At the beginning I said the story would be totally different if this Pathfinder was available when I bought the Highlander, and absolutely true. This would be at the top of my list in consideration for a 3-row SUV for our family if this existed back then. Not the old one, for sure this one. The only thing though is if you're looking for a hybrid vehicle, you're not going to find it with the Pathfinder. Maybe it might come later on. I would love to see this in a hybrid or a PHEV. That would be even better. I'm a fan of PHEVs. However, the price is going to be higher for that, and you're probably going to compromise some of the capabilities, especially that 6,000 pound towing capability. It's probably going to be reduced if you go into a hybrid version. So, you know, you give, you take. I think this new Pathfinder offers a very premium experience without the premium price tag. There is a lot of value here, even base trim or just off base trim. A lot of standard features. You have the Safety Shield 360, you have the heated seats and heated steering wheel. By the way, the heated steering wheel is heated the entire the way through, not like Toyota's half heated steering wheel on the Highlander, which is a big bonus. The Easy Flex seats makes it so easy to get in and out of that third row, and it's on both sides now, just not on the one side. And that third row, it's usable for real human beings. Real people can sit back there for long periods of time. It's not bad at all back there. And I like the fact that you have all that room behind the third row. You know, you get 4 golf bags in there. You have the under compartment storage, which is larger now. So lots of capability. Of course, the 6,000 pound towing capability. You know, I say if you were in the market for, let's say, an entry-level premium brand vehicle for an SUV, for instance, you're way better off going into something like this Pathfinder for sure. You're getting way more vehicle for your money, or maybe even less money, way more features, and you really do get a premium look on the exterior. The inside, all the materials are excellent in here. I think Nissan's got a winner on their hands. If this vehicle was not on your radar in the past, I don't blame you. It wasn't on my radar either. This new one should definitely be on your radar. It offers everything, value, capability, all of it. It's all there. Anyways, leave a comment below. Let me know, what do you think of this new Pathfinder compared to the competition? Maybe you have a Highlander like me, or Honda Pilot. And don't forget, like and subscribe. Remember, it's free, and we'll see you on the next Everyday Reviews. Thanks for watching.